Good morning, boys and girls. This is Lynn here to read a story from our book. Today's story is called The Good Samaritan. You probably know something about a Good Samaritan. A clever woman who thought, not a clever woman, a clever man who thought he knew all the rules for living God's way asked Jesus a question. He wanted to see if he could trick Jesus into giving the wrong answer. Teacher, he said, what must I do to live forever with God? Jesus asked another question. Well, what do the commandments say? The man answered. The commandments say you should love God with everything you have, and you should love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. Jesus replied, Yep, that's the right answer. Live like this and you'll live with God forever. So, Jesus, the man continued, who's my neighbor? Jesus answered the question with a story. A man was traveling down a scary and rocky road by himself. All of a sudden, a group of men jumped out. They stole his money and hurt him, leaving him by the side of the road. He moaned and groaned in pain, and he couldn't get out. A little while later, a priest was going down the road. He saw the hurt man and passed by him on the opposite side of the road. The opposite side of the road. Later, another man came along and passed on the other side of the road too. When a Samaritan came along and saw that the man was hurt, he stopped to help him. A tear ran down the Samaritan's cheek. As he bent down to help the hurt man, he put bandages on the man's cuts. The Samaritan huffed and puffed as he tried to lift the man onto his donkey. I'm glad somebody finally stopped to help. He took the man to the nearest inn and put him in a room. He took care of him for the rest of that day. The next day, the Samaritan had to leave for a few days. He paid the innkeeper to take care of the hurt man. The Samaritan promised to return and pay the innkeeper any more money that was needed to care for the man. He wanted the hurt man to get better. After Jesus finished the story, he asked the clever man, which of the three men was a neighbor to the man who was hurt? The man replied, well, the one who stopped to help him. Jesus told him, God wants us to help everyone. People of every size, every shape, every color, and every country are important to God. Now go and be like the Samaritan and help everyone who needs help. Here's a good question that you could consider, and you could actually do this one at school. How would you have felt if you were hurt and people who walked by didn't stop to help you? The next time you see somebody at school, or at church, or in your house, stop by to help.